you have any sisters?
No, I'm not available. But it's taking those real world, and I'll show you some pictures to talk about this, but you kind of give me the opportunity to jump into that. Go and look. If you're going to model the mountains, go to the mountains, feel it. One of the things that I taught my children very, very early is wherever you are, be there. Don't miss those opportunities to experience the world. Touch it, smell it, record it. Take your camera, take pictures. I have pictures and tons of pictures of rocks. My wife likes to say, it's another thing, if you haven't experienced train day, get on the twtrainworks.com, sign up, and you'll get the emails from Dorsey, train day. She shares what we do. And that's why I'm a member of the LCCA, that's why I'm here today. It's sharing what we do. But that real world is where you need to be to see. If you see rocks that you like, and we'll get into rocks here in a moment, record it, and you can copy it. You can do it. And I'm going to show you that in just a little bit here. Again, from the opposite side, you can see that when you're down on the ground level, the mountain it disappears. You really can't see it. But when you come around just a little bit, swing around the layout, those mountains become a big and important background part. We love doing bridges. Any of our work for TrainWorks, bridges are a big part of what we do. We sell individual bridges. We do custom bridges. This one is 8 feet long. It's very, very popular. I mean, people just walk up to the display and they love seeing the work that we do there. And here's a real good example too. It's in terms of in the carving, this is what you call bas relief, as opposed to fully sculptural, like the rocks here at the foreground. The rocks here at the foreground. When you get to the background here, this is almost here. But when you look at it, there's an incredible amount of depth. Visually, it's there. And it's just carving very shallow parts, and then in painting, making sure that you put the darker tones in where the shadows will be dropping back, and it'll look far more rounded than it is. Same thing with the mountain peaks here. When you look at it, it seems like there's a lot of depth to it. It's only 6 inches deep from top to the bottom. Everybody likes a great shot, right? Rail fans are out there taking pictures. It looks real. You take away this, and it looks like you're there. Grass, flocked grass. I barely ever use just green mat. Learn how to use a flocking system. It's expensive if you buy the pre-made ones. There are cheap flocking machines that you can make. It's not rocket science. Learn how to use one. They're very, very effective. He's standing in tall grass. He's kneeling down in tall grass there. It just adds so much depth and so much realism to it. Another key when you're using the flock, don't use a single color. The photograph is really reading the greens. If you look at it on my screen, it's amazing the variety of colors in the grass and depths of the grass. They make about 3 different depths or lengths, heights, whatever. The flock grass just adds so much to the look, the overall look. Something that you really should pick up on, learn, and use. And again, it's not one color. You do multiple colors, and a lot of people will do one color and then let it dry and then add glue and do another color. I tend to mix as I'm going. I use a small outlet for the grass so that I can do small patterns within a larger pattern and use the different depths of grass as well. The taller the grass, the drier it tends to be. Okay, if you ever go out into a field, again, real world, go out there and take pictures. You'll see the lower grass is going to be the greener grass. It's the shorter grass. It's got that new growth. As it grows, it gets taller, it'll start to yellow, start to dry. And that's what you want to get, is that varying depths.
Roger.
Fun stuff. Yes, ma'am.
This block grant you're referring to, is that the one that's offered by Scenic Express?
Yeah, Scenic Express is probably your best source.
But they don't make matches and stuff. You have to buy it almost like and plant it individually.
Oh, no, you can, there's mats that are made, there's little mounds.
Yeah, I know what you're
Okay, yeah, but they sell the individual fibers, and there's a unit that you can buy. You literally lay the glue down, and there's two wires. There's a ground wire, and there's a wire that's attached to the unit that you're sprinkling the fibers from, and you can apply as big as mat as you want to, and work small at first until you get comfortable with working with it. But again, easy stuff. And I'll talk about an opportunity right at the end of my time where you could come and learn how to do this stuff. Okay. Again, a shot showing the different corporations that they use. We even used an old Lionel pylon.
Okay.
We put a corporate jet. It's one of the companies they own. Is you're walking right out of my mind. Just flew by. But we had the corporate jet representing the lease company, corporate jet lease that they have. A little bit more of the detail. It's jumping into a boxcar, okay? Just in boots. The windmills all actually rotate. Lots of little animations on it. Animations add a lot, as you all love, I'm sure, the old operating accessories. But little animations go a long way in keeping interest. When I think of the Grand Central Terminal display, the first thing that people talk about, usually after Grand Central Terminal, of course, is the little Lionel guy doing the Lionel Ville sign. I mean, he's been doing it now for 7 years. Right? I mean, it's the most dependable little animation, but it's things like that that people get really excited about, and it is an effect. And actually, doing small motors and activating other figures, just simple moves, can add a lot to your enjoyment of the display. In terms of this one, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to point out special. Other than, weeds and debris. It's not one color, it's not one thickness. It's adding those little elements in there that really bring it to life. People say they're so realistic, and it is. You can make it as realistic as you want. You make those choices, and you can really enhance the layout with those minor details. And even in your more traditional postmodern or post-war type of layouts where you have a lot of plastic fill, a little changing of the colors, a little weathering, really brings those buildings that were relatively, kind of bland except for the bright colors. But you can add that dimension that brings them back into a real world experience. City with lots of people. It's great to have 1 or 2 people in there to define what it is, but look for those little characters that are telling a story. Right? A group of people standing next to each other, and not in a row, where y'all can see them, but where they're talking to each other. A little twist, and you bring the whole experience to life. Big crowds of people walking the city. There's a couple of companies that are really doing a great job. You have the Artista type figures that are incredibly detailed, and all different types of walk of lives and experience that they're depicting. Woodland Scenics has a really nice line, even groupings that they sell. Kids playing basketball, we have that on this layout.
That's streetcar tracks I see in there.
They sure are. There's a trolley that runs back and forth across the layout. It's not a bumper, we have relays on it, so that it stops at the end, waits, and goes back to the other side. And it comes all the way out to the edge and stops, so that when it comes through the buildings and you have to be standing there where you're not seeing down the street, it comes there and it stops right at the edge of the street. Well, it gives you a reason to go look at that. And then when